What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I'm going to break down what's going on with NIO, Tesla, SPY, NVIDIA, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with the market so far, what you should be looking out for in the economic data for the next couple of trading days, and how the markets are looking as we approach some very big events. But before I break anything down, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Weeble and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 6 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you guarantee 20 free stocks plus 6 months of level 2 data. Putting in $25,000 or more guarantees you 70 free stocks plus 12 months of level 2 data. The offer ends in just 8 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So far, NIO is down 1.47% for the day on Friday. I was talking about a little pullback coming to NIO, and that is what ended up happening. But the question is, how will NIO move moving forward? I believe that we may see a kind of boring day again tomorrow for Monday because the market is going to be in preparation for CPI. And generally, we see some hedging. We may see some analysts just do different things. But moving forward, I think that CPI is going to cause a massive, massive move, and this could help the market either explode to the upside or the downside. I believe it's most likely going to be to the upside as I see some more bullish signals. I'll be breaking down more information about why that is in the next couple of minutes. But first, let's just go over this. So for Monday, which is tomorrow, we have the consumer inflationary expectations report coming out. Once again, this is important because when the data comes out, it gives us a good view of consumer sentiment. So at 11 o'clock a.m. and 11:30, expect some volatility here and there. It may not be that crazy. Then we have the note auctions and the bill auctions coming out at 11:30. And at 1 p.m., we have the 3-month bill auction, the 10-year note auction. So expect some possible volatility at that time. So around 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern time, there could be some volatility. Besides that, there's not really any other pieces of data as the market's going to be very cool and just getting ready for Tuesday, which is when we have CPI coming out. Now, I'll be talking more about CPI tomorrow, but for now, I just want to warn you about that. Before market open on Tuesday, we have CPI. Now, please just remember that when it comes to the way the market has been moving, there's still a lot of puts that are continuing to be bought, and the market makers are continuing to squeeze these shorts. Going into this coming Friday, we have a lot of options expirations. We have a boatload of them. And just know that we have over 4.5 million puts expiring and under 2 million calls. So we have a lot of puts again. Are we going to see the market come down, or are we going to see the market squeeze these shorts again by the end of the week? We'll just find out and see, but don't forget that that's what's been happening for the last couple of weeks. We also have a very high puts to call ratio for December 22nd. Once again, lots of shorts are continuing to pile in. We'll see how this ends up going for them. Now, when it comes to NIO, there's been some talk right now about the company. Does NIO have the potential, or can it be able to rally like 64% in the future? And I think that the answer is yes. I think NIO does have the potential to do so, but this is going to depend on CPI to start us off and other factors like that. We're also going to be waiting for NIO Day, but for now, I still think that NIO has the potential, at least from a technical standpoint, because when you zoom out of the chart, if we go back to like the weekly time frame, like I was mentioning in my earlier video, NIO has been holding up quite nicely. If you go back, we have a tendency of holding $7. You can see right here we hit 7 and we bounced. And then way back on the chart, there were times where we hit 7. That's where our key support has been for the last like 1.5 years. So $7 has been holding up. We'll be watching this major support on NIO. We need a really bad catalyst to cause this to break, but I think that with the market pushing up higher, we can get a nice bounce going into Tuesday. And I still think that NIO has the potential to do so. Now, to add on to this, I just want to mention that we have 42.7 million in volume. NIO's volume is drying up a bit, so we might see not the most crazy days. It's going to depend on the news too, if there's like any news to cause more volatility. But if we just kind of like ignore that factor for now, since I can't really predict that, I'll just say that it looks like we're going to like to see some consolidation for some time before we get a bigger move to the upside. All the data is essentially the same. Tuesdays tend to be more volatile for NIO, but here's what I predict is going to happen to the markets. So when it comes to SPY, we basically broke above this 460 area and managed to close above it. We could see another attempt to push before we come back down. We could actually break down temporarily back to like 458 and bounce and just continue to trade sideways. We might just get a very sideways day back and forth and close very close to where we are. And then after that, I think the market, after it consolidates, we're going to make a much larger move after we get really tight. On Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be when we get a massive move after CPI. We will see if this launches SPY up or down. I'm thinking it's going to be to the upside. I know it may sound insane, but I do have a price target of 467 soon. I don't think that this thing is done. And because we closed before 6, there's likely going to be more upside coming before the week ends. On the QQQ, it's no different. Now we have a rising wedge-like pattern. Could actually retrace right here, retest like the 391s, back to the bottom of the support, bounce off that and just continue to climb and climb and climb our way up. We could even invalidate this rising wedge and just keep pushing since we have a nice accumulation structure developing. But I think it's going to be reaching, it's going to keep pumping and possibly get very close to 400 after CPI if we get a nice pump. Tomorrow we might see it come back down, push up, and just consolidate a little bit, have a sideways day, and expect a much bigger move after CPI comes out. For NVIDIA, right, we have NVIDIA right over here. This thing has been uptrending very nicely. And what else is good about NVIDIA is the fact that we have a nice double bottom like formation, and we broke this high right here where the wick was. We actually broke this, which is showing signs of a nice uptrend. Watch NVIDIA backtest this like 472 area, then bounce off that and continue to uptrend. And going into Tuesday, we could see an even more explosive day. NVIDIA is going to eventually make its way up to at least 482. We have a price target up there. We have this imbalance to fill, so it might drop a little bit and start pushing back up and start pushing to the higher levels. I think there's a very good chance NVIDIA is going to do that. And then for Apple stock, I just want to mention that Apple has this rising wedge like pattern that's developing, but it's continuing to hold up very, very nicely and it's still showing lots and lots of life. I'm going to delete just a couple of these lines though, because I think I don't really need to keep them anymore. I just want to keep what's like more relevant and closer to like the current level. So just give me a few seconds for this. But Apple has been uptrending. There's no sign of Apple breaking down quite yet. And we're going to be watching to see if this thing can break 196. It might come back down to this like support right here to 195, then just continue to consolidate like this. Then we might see a bullish breakout maybe after CPI comes out. We could see it try to go for 197 or even above that. So I think consolidation and then a breakout should be coming. Consolidation tomorrow, then a breakout later on. I think it's very, very probable. And then for Tesla, I just want to mention that Tesla is still holding up nicely. We might see Tesla backtest this trend line, this yellow trend line. But I think that Tesla's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And I would say my best prediction for Tesla would be, and this is like in regards to or like but kind of like ignoring any pieces of news since I can't really predict the news. But I would say that it's very probable that we'll just do this. See Tesla just continue to range trade, consolidate, and then Tuesday comes and we break in either one direction or the other. Hopefully, it's going to be a bullish break to the upside. We will have to see, but there's a very, very good chance Tesla will continue to consolidate and then make an attempt to at least break out. At least try to test this trend line and get higher than that. But I think it's going to continue to consolidate and break out, so watch for that very carefully. With that being said, I think the trend is going to perpetuate throughout the entire market. It's going to move in a very collective manner. And we're going to see NIO make an attempt to get back to this 20 EMA at 7.48, maybe go a little bit higher, come back down, retest 7.3, and just continue to trade sideways for one more day. And I think that NIO, as long as we don't break below $7, we're still going to be possibly uptrending because the MACD is turning a bit more bullish. Our volume has shown some improvement, at least relative to like this period right here. So I think that it might come down a little bit more, trade sideways a little bit, and try to break out maybe on Tuesday, try to get back above $8. That's one possibility for this week. And on Tuesday, that could be the time we start trying to push higher. So that's what I'm seeing for the market thus far. Hopefully, this video was helpful for what I see for NIO. I just want to mention that on the 4-hour time frame, NIO is starting to show more life. We're kind of curling on the MACD. And I think it's going to continue to consolidate. You guys can see how it's just trading sideways for the last couple of days. We might do the same thing tomorrow, but then look for a potential breakout and attempt to get back to this imbalance, 7.8 plus by Tuesday. And we could even break above that and try to get back into the 8s very, very soon. All right, guys. That's it for this one. Thank you all so much for listening. Have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and peace out.